Who doesn't like a pile of mercury dimes? I mean, really, is there any better apocalypse money? Maybe. Vic Clemente took the first yesterday. First class. Thousandaire. Hit that like button, friendo, and buckle your safety boots. It's about to be a fun one. Pull up a hot cup. I got mine. It's time to get gassed up for the pondering. A hot pour for the upper pour. Is that a homonym? No, it's spelled differently. Those are looking nice today. Anywho, cheers to you, friendo. Look at all these dimes I laid out so perfectly. And then flew my phone over like it's a little airplane. And you're the pilot, friendo. Doesn't that deserve a like? Come on. Should stacking be this entertaining? Perhaps I'm ruining the natural order. It's like a party in the library. All right, let's get down to business. It's week 2 of the 5 centenario era. I set aside $150 each week to buy a gold coin that contains 1.2 troy ounces of gold. All right, come back to us. Every 6 months to complete a roll of 20 within a decade. We're 2.5 years in, hence the 5 centenario era. Some say, why don't you buy American? And then I tell them Mexico isn't America. It's in Central America. I know what you mean, though. Truth is, look at these things. I think they're beautiful. Plus, they have 1/5 more gold than a buffalo or eagle, making me 20% more disciplined than anyone who stacks those. That's not how it works. But kinda. And ounce for ounce, the premium is low on this. Each week, I also pick up an old silver dollar. Purchase a very nice one? I do not always. Yeah, I usually just make sure it's detailed, not cleaned if I can tell. A little luster, I like toning. I like all kinds of silver dollars. Yeah, so when I complete my decade Mexican 50 pesos challenge, not only will I have a roll of 50 pesos, 20 of them, but I should have a monster box of old silver dollars. By old, I mean 100 plus years. And if for some reason you don't know what a monster box is, here in the States, that's 500. So 500 silver dollars and 24 ounces of gold, it won't make me rich, but I'll at least be in the upper echelons of poverty. Heck, that might even constitute middle class. And this is just my baseline. I don't take it for granted, though. I know I can fall off, like I so often do with my exercise endeavors. It's okay, though. We don't always move towards our goals in a straight line. And by we, I mean human beings. Like us, friendo. Isn't it so great to be humans? Yeah, what else would we be? That's silly. What am I even talking about? So, this is the baseline. I'm not trying to speculate on gold and silver to earn more purchasing power, but simply to maintain it. For speculation, I would rather go with crypto, stocks, or collectibles. I know many of you do not like this, but I usually buy about $50 worth of Bitcoin each week. I haven't bought any in a couple months, but I'm going to start doing it again. When its price is up like it is now, I tend to take profits in gold to balance out my portfolio. It's tough to balance your portfolio with Bitcoin because it pretty much just always goes up. And when it goes down, just wait a couple years and it'll be fine, and then some. At least that's how it's been historically for its whole existence. Granted, which has only been since 2009. I'm not a Bitcoin salesman. I'm not advising you to buy Bitcoin. If you do, it really doesn't do anything for me, except maybe give me a wealthier friend. It is no doubt volatile. And if you have a short time horizon or you're adverse risk, then it's probably not for you. And by Bitcoin, I mean Bitcoin. I'm not talking about every other crypto asset that's been invented. I don't really talk about Bitcoin in passing with people these days because more often than not, it will start an altcoin conversation. And there's just so many of those. And it quickly derails the point. That point being, whether you like it or not, Bitcoin is the first decentralized global payment system or network. And thus far has not only been an excellent store of value, but also very profitable for not only just early adopters, but for pretty much all adopters. It was first and simple. The altcoins, however, not so much. And I'm not saying any of them lack merit, and I'm not saying they have it either. But you have to research each one like it's a tech startup. And it has the high risk and granted the reward of a tech startup. At least that's how I've seen it. That's how I see it now. I haven't really been researching anything. And I don't think I'm going to. I'm completely fine with getting wealthy, slow and steadily. If you like hearing about Bitcoin, it's important that you hit the like button. And let me know in the comments below so that I can know to mention it a bit more. Oh, if you're like a prepper or an SHTF fan, you may like my next habit. I hoard $20 worth of nickels on average each week and add them to a 5-gallon water bottle. The goal is one in each room of my home. I'm even going to put one in the bathroom. Why am I doing this? The short answer is perhaps I'm a bit mental and it goes unchecked because I'm single. And now the long answer. Everyone says you should have an emergency fund of cash. Well, not everyone. Peasants don't say that. But you know what I mean. Financial advisors, budgeting advisors. So first off, we'll just say this is a diversified part of my emergency cash. Not all of my cash is in nickels, just a bit. I've been doing this for a couple years now, so it's piling up. So why nickels? They are the only coin in circulation that melts for more than face value. And before you say that's illegal, I'm not melting anything, okay? So check this out. I got 400 nickels here, $20 worth. And at the time of filming this, February 8th, 2025, a nickel melts for 0.0540289 cents. Now my $20 has a melt value of $21.61. And my cash is in a very inconvenient form. Impulse spending is basically out of the question. If there's an emergency, it'll be a pain, but I can cash them in. And it's probably a lot, a couple $1,000. And if there is no need to ever spend them, well, they'll just go up with inflation. In melt value, that is. Much more than paper notes. And if someone dishonest should ever go to my home to take something that is not theirs, removing value will be more timely and arduous, making the endeavor more risky and perhaps even more dangerous. Another thing about the nickel, I think it's a nice prep. Not for bugging out, obviously, but for hunkering down, sure. And if there was a total crash of our fiat, where promissory debt notes are worth zero and are no longer accepted, do you think a farmer would maybe take a pound of copper for a dozen eggs? If you have hordes of nickels and you want to produce a pound of copper, you only need 121 nickels. And whoever should accept it also gets 5.34 ounces of nickel to boot. I think these are way better than the bottle caps used in Fallout. Also, there's talks about getting rid of change or using cheaper metals, so perhaps scrapping may become legal. I still randomly pick up some constitutional silver or generic rounds, especially if I find a deal, and have been known to sell on price spikes. I don't sell my mercury dimes. I'm gonna need those and my nickels during the apocalypse. Yeah, that's the deepest of the deep stack. Yeah, but I'll sell off bars, rounds, and constitutional with presidents on them. Not my Liberty stuff, though. All right, I guess we're almost out of time. Last but not least, you know I like to spec on some comic books these days. I'll have more on that later. Maybe tomorrow. If you're new here and you enjoy the show, subscribe for more. Do it. Do it. I'm here almost every day. I hope you hit that like button, because that's it. That is it. Thousandaire Radio, Wicked Show.